Hello, I'm Zagone with Northwest Winterfest. I invite you to learn more about the culture of the Philippines.
Masayang Pasko, like they say in Pampanga or throughout the Philippines, Maligayang Pasko. Merry Christmas from the Philippines. My name is Mark Carlos, this is Charity, and this is Tita Loida. We're here to talk to you about our food and our decorations. So tell us about the parol, Tita.
Sure. Usually for a Filipino history, we celebrate our Pasco for a parol. Actually, we made this today, and it's been a while that I didn't really make parol, but turned out to be really good. And the parol mostly is a tradition that's made from bamboo, and we put it together, and then usually this parol. Usually, the old traditions, they have a hole on the top, and we put candles underneath. That's what we use for lighting the parol, and then we hang it out on a window outside the house to show, the holiday, the traditions. And this is made from this Japanese paper that is made of. And we also have a modern parol, and it's made mostly like a shell, like a capiz shell.
Yes. Yeah, and part of it is for the 9 days before Christmas. Filipinos we were colonized by the Spanish, we were colonized by America, and a little bit of Chinese influence. There's a lot of different influences here. You can tell, like with the capiz shell, that's a lot of the Chinese influence. With the whole lantern, that's sort of from the American Christmas tradition. And also, like she said, that we hang them on the house, and starting 9 days before, actually sometimes September, but mostly for 9 days before Christmas, which is a Catholic tradition called Simpang Gabi, which means the night church. And usually it's right in, I think it's like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., or even earlier than that.
5 p.m.
Yeah,
5 p.m.
5 p.m. But it was started because the priest used to notice that, everyone coming in from the farm is very tired, like they fall asleep during my mass. So what they did is they did it way earlier, and just to greet all of the people, they put all the lanterns up just so that they could find their way to the church. And then the grand production of it all, at the end of it, is the Misa de Gallo, the Mass of the Rooster, they call it. But here in America, we call it Midnight Mass. So that's the grand thing. You have Noche Buena, which is like, the good night. We have a lot of food preparing. You smell grandma making the food, putting everything out. But trick is, you can't eat until you go to Mass. So you have to go to church first, wear your finery, behave throughout Mass, and then grandma will feed you. So to take it away to explain to us what kind of food we have Charity.
So Loida Myersberg made the food, and one of the highlights, or the central decoration in every Philippine table, is this thing in here, which you should have
fruits.
the 12. We call it the 12 fruits, and it should have 12 fruits, and they should be round or gold or yellow to signify coins and gold, and to keep the blessing and prosperity and wealth coming in throughout the year. So that's the centerpiece for many Philippine homes. And then we have some traditional rice cakes in here. And of course, we have the Philippine noodle dish, which is the bihon. And they're not supposed to cut it because it signifies that when you eat it, you have long life. And then we have the lumpia. And then we have sapin-sapin. We have the suman. And then we have palitaw and kuchinta and puto. And Loida, do you want to talk about any of this really quick, since you made it?
Mostly all the Filipino food is made of glutinous rice, sweet rice, and mostly we use a lot of coconut milk to make our dessert. And rice, that's what mostly, and just like we do grate it, and it's mostly that's how you put it together. It's just like, that's what we have. It's like glutinous rice, with coconut. It's mostly coconut that we put together as a dessert. And we have this thing right here. This is like suman. It's suman that it's been wrapped with banana leaves, and we have this thing for the evening to share for the family.
And then also you could see a lot of influence from our colonial past. Here we have the bihon that Charity talked about. It's kind of like, it may be familiar to our friends of Chinese heritage, or if you're a fan of Chinese food, it's kind of like the spring rolls and the fried noodles of Chinese heritage, but we have a little twist to it in the Philippines. And same thing with like, the fruits and everything. It's just a little bit of Filipino flavor, like literally flavor with the coconut and the rice. So just different ways to make stuff, and a really hearty meal. And then also, like we mentioned earlier, we have our traditional
Baong Tagalog.
Barong Tagalog, and it's made of pineapple fiber. So this is the female version. It's more well fitted and suited. The male version is very loose because back in the Spanish days, they didn't trust us much. So we had to have everything out and it's see-through, so you could see if we were carrying or packing back in the day. So, but it is very traditional. A lot of sewing in there and embroidery, and we just like to dress nice on these occasions. It's like, it's an excuse to dress nice, show off your best clothes and your best food. So as you've seen, a lot of these different traditions is how we carry on our culture, especially since a lot of our kids are multiracial, multi-ethnic. And one fond tradition that didn't follow us here from the islands is actually caroling, kind of like we didn't do here, but it's more intense. You have a bunch of coins just waiting for everybody. Even like some folks show up on your door in a carabao. So we're going to share with you a little bit of one of our favorite carols. It's called Pasco na naman, or Christmas again. 1, 2, 3. Pasko, Pasko, Pasko naman muli, ang araw ng ating pinakamimiti. Pasko, Pasko, Pasko na naman muli, ang pag-ibig na kahari. Hey! Thank you. Merry Christmas. Malagang Pasko.